Hey guys, welcome back to Football Predictions. This is the last weekend, unfortunately, before the international break. I'm going to be giving out picks for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. As you know, if you've been following this channel, we bet specifically on goals and single games. And I try to provide you with the best information, research I can about those games, and then it's up to you to choose them or not. Now, before we get into the picks, let's review the picks that we had yesterday for the Champions League. Let's start off with the earlier games. We had Antwerp against Shakhtar. We had both teams to score. That went through pretty easy early in the second half already. Both teams scored. Odds were 166. And by the way, shout out to one guy in the comment section. He just put Shakhtar to win for odds 450. I'm sure he was sweating a bit in the end of the game because Antwerp had a penalty on the 97th minute, but they missed. So congrats, buddy. Then Atletico Madrid Feyenoord, we didn't take that game. Atletico won, they came back 3-2, and now it's 4 consecutive games that Atletico score exactly 3 goals at home. This is something that we have to watch out for if we're going to be taking Atletico games in the future. But I believe because they play Real Sociedad this weekend, I believe that streak is about to end. Now, Celtic Lazio. Shout out to my brother. He's the one with the pick. He suggested me to take Lazio over 1.5. So yeah, good. I mean, Lazio scored on the 94th minute. I thought it was going to be easier than that, but the odds were pretty high at 216. And congrats to those who took the game. Then we had Dortmund Milan. Yeah, that was unfortunate. I'm thinking about Milan to put them on my blacklist now because yeah, I can't really predict Milan these last few days. But let's see if we're going to be taking another game for Milan this weekend. I'll give them maybe last chance to not be on the blacklist. So 0-0 against Dortmund. That was lame. Porto Barcelona, I saw some people had both teams to score. Unfortunately, Porto had to score. They had some chances. I believe VAR was involved. People are not unhappy with the referee. But yeah, Barca ended up winning that game 1-0. Newcastle destroyed PSG 4-1. I was surprised to see that. I did say though that PSG would score 1 goal because the streak was Newcastle wasn't conceding already for a long time, but the odds were too low. And then Leipzig, Man City. Man City took care of business as usual. So yeah, guys, that was it. We went 2 for 3. Positive day. Now let's get into the picks for the weekend. Let's start off with Friday. We got a game in the Bundesliga. Borussia Monchengladbach against Mainz. Now, Borussia is a team that's on the come up. We took them last week against Bochum. We had over 1. They won that game. They destroyed Bochum 3-0. And Mainz is the worst team in the league right now. They only have 1 point. They're the 3rd worst defense. And yeah, they concede a lot. They're terrible away. And the stat that I'm looking at here specifically is that Borussia haven't scored in 2 consecutive games at home. They actually lost 4 games at home right now. I believe that's about to change. Borussia, I don't know if they're going to be winning this game, but I'm going to be riding with over 1.5 goals because Mainz defense is really bad. It's terrible. So we're going to be taking Borussia, who have been really good away now and scoring goals. So that's our first pick, Borussia over 1.5, and the odds are pretty good, 180. That's good for Bundesliga. Now for the second game, we move on to the Dutch second division. We've been taking some games this year. There were 2 for 3. Den Haag against Os. We actually took Den Haag, I believe it was 2 weeks ago or last week. They played against Telstar. We had Den Haag over 1.5. It didn't go through, but now they're playing another terrible team at Os. And I believe it's about time for them to win because they are fighting for the title. They are fighting to get to the first division, and they have to win those type of games. Now, also says terrible. They have 4 points in 8 games, just like Telstar. I'm taking that they're actually going to score over 1.5 goals. And the odds are right now at 145, but that's going to be our second pick. Den Haag to score over 1.5 against Os. Now for the third pick, as you've been asking, let's go a bit outside the top 5 leagues that I'm doing. Let's go to the Danish league. Silkeborg against Lyngby. Now those 2 teams are basically equal at the table. Silkeborg has 4 more points. Lyngby is a good away team. They are coming off 4 victories at home. But the most important thing I'm looking at is that Silkeborg haven't conceded in 3 straight home games. And this is the Danish league. I used to take it in the previous years. There were goals there. I'm not sure how it is this year, but I'm going to be taking that both teams are going to be scoring in this game. I believe Lyngby can score 1 goal with the way they've been performing away. The odds are pretty good. Now they've dropped a bit. It was 174 at first, but I guess people are putting money on that game. So now it's at 168. So our third pick is going to be both teams to score between Silkeborg and Lyngby. For the final game on Friday, we go to the French division, Strasbourg against Nantes. I suggested Strasbourg last week, but they didn't score against Lens. Now, they're a solid home team. I believe that they'll score in this one because Nantes have the second worst defense in France. And yeah, the bookies are giving us now odds 149 for Strasbourg to score over 1. So we're not going to be taking the over 1.5, just over 1 if you have that bet. If you have over 0.5, I suggest you stay out of it because the odds are way too low for that. But I'll be taking Strasbourg over 1 goal at home. I doubt that they'll go back-to-back games without scoring. Now let's begin with Saturday. So just to run through really fast on Friday. Yeah, Strasbourg over 1 goal against Nantes. Silkeborg Lyngby, both teams to score. Den Haag against TOS. Den Haag over 1.5. And Borussia Monchengladbach. Oh my god, that name. Just Borussia, okay guys? Borussia over 1.5 against Mainz. Now, let's move on to Saturday. Genoa against Milan. Now, guys, will Milan make the blacklist from this video on? To be fair with you guys, Genoa has been really solid at home. They beat Roma. We had that game on Genoa, by the way, over 1. They beat Roma 4-1. Then they played 2-2 against Napoli. I just doubt that they can go back-to-back against Milan. I think Milan is more solid than Napoli and, of course, Roma. And yeah, I'm going to be riding with Milan, maybe for the last time. I believe they're going to win this game. They're battling for the Scudetto this year, and they have to win like games like that away. Genoa is good in attack, so I'm considering, I mean, I can see Genoa scoring 1 goal. I'm not sure if Retegui is going to be playing, their striker, who's been huge in Serie A so far this season. But I can see Genoa scoring 1 goal. That means Milan will have to score 2 in this one. But yeah, I'm going to be riding with Milan. Once I saw the odds at first, I don't know why bookies are giving such high odds. Even on Milan victory, it's about 180. But I'll be taking 208 for Milan over 1.5 goals. Now, we stay in the Serie A, Inter against Bologna. Inter is coming off a huge performance against Benfica. They should have won that game 5-0. Hopefully, they saved up those goals for Bologna. Now, Bologna been playing really well. I mean, Thiago Motta, their coach, is amazing. I think it's his last year in Bologna, especially defensively. Now, the stat here is, wow, surprisingly, 4 consecutive games that Bologna doesn't concede in the Serie A. And they did play Napoli. I think that streak gets broken with the way Inter has been playing. The odds aren't great, but I'll still take them. Inter over 1.5 at 144. Now, move on. Ipswich against Preston. For the first time, we're going to Championship this year. Now, those 2 teams are fighting to get to the Premier League. Maybe we'll be seeing one of them. Now, Preston is having a shocker. I'm sure a lot of money went last week on Preston. I saw you guys in the comment section. Some of you took Preston, actually. Now, the last 2 games, they lost 3-0 and 4-0. Now, I don't know if they're going to win this game or draw. I actually don't care. But I believe they're not going to go 3 games in a row without scoring. I believe that they're going to score against Ipswich, which is a really solid side at home. They're coming up 4 victories. But now, here the situation is either we're going to take over 0.5 or over 1. I suggest you guys take over 0.5 because odds are pretty decent. It's at 160. But personally, I'm going to be taking over 1 goal for odds 250. But you guys take 160. And I hope you win this bet because, as I said, Preston, if Preston goes 3 games without scoring, I'll be pretty shocked. Now, for the final game on Saturday, we got Mallorca against Valencia. I've been really impressed seeing Mallorca scoring 2 or more goals in 3 games in a row. Looks like Valencia is back to their old side like last year. They've lost 2 games in a row right now. I'm going with Mallorca here. I'm going to take the momentum of the goals that they have been scoring. Even though I'm going to play it more safe, I'm going to take the over 1. Bookies are giving us good odds at 181. So Mallorca to score over 1 goal against Valencia is going to be our last pick for Saturday. Now, man, many picks here. I'm doing this video all in one go. So I have all the information here that I need. Now, Sunday, Arsenal against Man City. Of course, this is the game of the week. Everybody knows it. These are the two teams fighting for the title, unless Liverpool have something to say about it. Arsenal is coming off a terrible loss against Lens. Unfortunately, we were with them on that one. While Man City beat Leipzig just now 3-1, pretty easy. And however, they let Arsenal back in the race because they lost to Wolves 2-1 last week. Now, wow, I'm looking at a stat here. 4 consecutive games, Arsenal at home lost to Man City. Can they do that 5 times in a row? Man, even though to be fair with them, they won the FA Cup, the FA Trophy earlier this year on the last minute goal and then penalties. Now, I'm going to be riding with Arsenal here. I'm going to be taking the safer bet over 1. I just think it's time for Arsenal to beat Man City. That's all. I'm taking Arsenal over 1 goal, odds 166. Even though if Man City ends up winning 2-3, I really don't care because we win the bet. Now, what do you guys think about this game specifically? Arsenal, Man City, what are you guys going to be taking on that one? For the second pick, we go to the French division, Marseille against Le Havre. Now, I'm recording this game, of course, before their game against Brighton. They're going to play in a couple of hours. I released a little video on the Europa League. You should check that out. We also have a pick for that game. Now, they have to start bouncing back in the division if they want to play Champions League football next year, which the race is still open. Like the top 3 teams in France are what, like Brest, Nice, and Reims right now, and Monaco, and PSG is not doing that great either. So the door is there. Now, Le Havre, this is the stats. They haven't lost away still in the French league, and I'm looking for Marseille to finally get the victories. They haven't won in 4 consecutive games in the French league. So I'm going to be riding with the Gennaro Gattuso boys now with over 1.5 goals at 158. That's going to be our second pick. Now guys, for the third pick, we stay in the French division. Ran against PSG. PSG just got embarrassed by Newcastle also last week, which was more embarrassing was their 0-0 performance against Clermont. Now, Rennes is a very good team at home. They haven't lost since April, but I'm expecting a bounce-back game from PSG. I mean, how bad can they be for so long? I'm taking over 1.5 with PSG. I know a lot of you guys don't like PSG on this channel because you've been taking bets and they've been losing, but I think it's time for them to put up a good performance against a really good Rennes team. I'm going with PSG. Odds are pretty solid at almost 190. That's our third pick. Now, to finish up this video, it's become a tradition. We try to bring high odds for the last pick. Now, we're going to go to Serie A. We're going to go with our favorite Roma. I love Roma. Whenever we bet on them to win, to score over 1.5, they do it. And whenever we bet against them, it also goes through. So I think the 3 favorite teams so far that made me the most money, especially since I've been doing this channel, have been Real Sociedad, of course, and the 2 Roman teams, Roma and Lazio. Now, Cagliari against Roma. Now, Roma conceded 4 goals against Genoa. Their defense is pretty terrible, while Cagliari managed to score 1 goal against Milan. So they're a team that can hurt Roma. Actually, any team can hurt Roma. And I'm going to ride with Cagliari here. I can see them. I think Roma is going to win this game, but I can see Cagliari to score at least 1 goal. I'm not sure about 2, but I will take the safe bet with high odds. It's at 286 that Cagliari will score at least 1 goal against Roma. Guys, this is it for the weekend. I gave you 12 picks. I hope you're happy with them. If not, give me your feedback. But no, for real, I hope you select some of those games. I think they're going to go through, but not all of them. Don't do this. Don't take all of those games and put them on one bet slip and then write me like, bro, the games didn't go through. As I said, that's not how it goes. We go game by game as single games. Also, comment down your games that you're going to be taking for the weekend. I look at them. I take them sometimes. And odds preferably 150 to 2. Now, this is it. I'm done. Let's see if I get back in the international break. Of course, I'll be following it, but let's see if the bookies are going to give us some decent odds. But as I say, like international break preferably is avoidable. But yeah, most importantly, bet responsibly, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.